The 20,000 San Stats and Cool Sam Ardwol. FIFA World Cup was billed as a football revolution, 48 nations, 3 host countries, and a vision of North American unity. The United States, Canada, and Mexico promised open borders, shared passion, and a festival stretching from Vancouver to Mexico City. The US was the senior partner, set to host 78 of 104 matches, including all games from the quarterfinals onward, and the final at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Economic projections soared, over $40 billion in impact, 6 million fans expected. America's vast stadiums and 1994 hosting legacy made it the engine of the event. The slogan, "United as One," captured the spirit, a symbol of cooperation in a divided world. Fans dreamed of epic journeys, group matches in Guadalajara, knockouts in Seattle, a final near New York. Ticket sales launched in September 2025, with cities like LA, Seattle, and Miami bracing for record crowds. The US government formed a World Cup task force to ensure smooth operations. The group stage draw was set for December in Washington, D.C., mapping the road to glory for teams like Argentina, Brazil, and Japan. Infrastructure was ready, excitement was building, and the world was watching. The plan was bold, the dream vivid. For a moment, it seemed nothing could go wrong. But beneath the surface, trouble was brewing. The dream began to unravel as US politics took center stage. In June 2025, the Trump administration enacted a sweeping travel ban on 12 countries, including Iran, a World Cup qualifier. 7 more nations faced harsh restrictions, creating chaos for fans and officials. FIFA's principle, "The world is welcome," was shattered. The US had promised open access, but now, only athletes and staff were exempted. The spirit of unity was compromised before kickoff. The State Department closed embassies and consulates, making visa appointments nearly impossible for millions. Visa processing times ballooned, fans faced year-long waits. Vice President J.D. Vance warned visitors to leave immediately after the tournament, fueling anxiety. Reports of civil unrest and aggressive immigration raids, especially in Southern California, heightened fears. The promise of a safe, accessible tournament was slipping away. For millions of fans, the American visa system became an insurmountable barrier. Unlike Russia or Qatar, the US refused to offer fan IDs or ticket-based visas. Every international supporter, except those from visa waiver countries, faced a complex, restrictive process. Fans from football-loving nations like Colombia and Nigeria saw high visa denial rates, even with tickets and hotel bookings. The message: only select wealthy nations were truly welcome. Canada and Mexico remained open, drawing fans away from US venues. German fan groups shifted plans to Toronto and Vancouver, avoiding US uncertainty. The United tournament fractured as fans chose Canada over America. The travel ban, though sparing players, chilled the World Cup's atmosphere. A World Cup is about more than players, it's about the fans. The US risked hosting a tournament stripped of its global soul. Financial strains hit American host cities hard. Unlike 1994, FIFA now claimed nearly all revenue, leaving cities to cover massive costs for security, transport, and stadiums. Chicago, a major sports hub, withdrew as a host, citing unsustainable expenses. Los Angeles nearly followed, saved only by billionaire Stan Kroenke's private guarantee. The financial model was broken. Hosting was now a privilege for the ultra-wealthy. Cities resented footing the bill for a global event with little direct return. Promised tourism booms felt distant, immediate costs were overwhelming. Civic pride gave way to fiscal anxiety. The World Cup party was on, but cities wondered who'd pay the price. The cracks in the American plan were widening. The 2021 Finanzen San, the Konikoninonsfan. FIFA Club World Cup in the US was meant to be a dress rehearsal. It became a warning. Visa delays nearly sidelined staff and fans from African champions. Aggressive security and immigration checks marred the event. Sweltering matches in unprepared cities drew criticism from players and unions. Seattle's transit upgrades were overwhelmed by visitor numbers. Coordination between federal, city, and organizing officials was chaotic. The Club World Cup exposed real, not theoretical failures. If the US struggled with 32 club teams, how could it handle 48 nations and millions of fans? FIFA observers saw chaos, not the smooth professionalism promised. The dress rehearsal flopped. With less than a year to go, FIFA faced a crisis. The American World Cup was on the brink. The Club World Cup fallout forced FIFA's hand. Emergency meetings in Zurich painted a dire picture: political hostility, bureaucratic chaos, financial instability, and logistical failure. The risk of a disastrous World Cup, empty seats, diplomatic incidents, fan chaos, was too high. On October 13, 2025, FIFA President Gianni Infantino dropped a bombshell. The US was stripped of its primary hosting duties. The 78 matches, including the final, were moved. Instead of finding a new continent, FIFA pivoted within North America. Canada became the new primary host. Mexico kept its 13 group matches. Canada offered stability, open visas, government support, and ready infrastructure. While the US closed embassies, Canada welcomed the world. Canadian cities and provinces reaffirmed support. American cities balked at costs. FIFA framed the move as protecting the World Cup's integrity and fans' experience. The American dream was over. The Canadian contingency plan was now reality. The world's biggest sporting event had a new home. FIFA's decision sparked a whirlwind in Canada. Suddenly, Canada was center stage, with just 8 months to prepare for the largest World Cup ever. The plan expanded from 2 host cities to a nationwide effort. Edmonton and Montreal joined Toronto and Vancouver. A national task force coordinated stadium upgrades, security, and transport. The Canadian government underwrote costs, seeing it as a nation-building moment. All political parties united in support. Prime Minister Trudeau declared, "The world is welcome in Canada." Fans and teams found a welcoming, streamlined visa process and a safer, more predictable environment. The tournament became more geographically clustered, reducing travel fatigue. Stadiums offered a uniquely Canadian flavor: intimate, football-focused, and community-driven. The World Cup in Canada promised authentic passion, diversity, and hospitality. It was a different vision, less about scale, more about spirit. Many felt it was closer to the true heart of the game. The World Cup's move sent shockwaves through North American football. In the US, anger and embarrassment reigned. The Soccer Federation's credibility was shattered. Fans scrambled for refunds and new plans. The country faced hard questions about its global role and political climate. For American soccer, it was a generational loss. For Canada, it was an unprecedented opportunity. The World Cup would supercharge the sport's growth, boost the Canadian Premier League, and ignite national passion. Infrastructure investment and global exposure promised a lasting legacy. Airlines rerouted from Miami to Montreal. Teams shifted training from California to British Columbia. The group stage draw moved from DC to Toronto. The World Cup's machinery was rebuilt in real time. The lesson was clear: hosting the world's game requires openness, stability, and a true spirit of welcome. The heart of the tournament had moved north, beating with new hope.